guys, I got next to no sleep last night. I am exhausted. I may or may not have thought somebody was literally breaking into my house. I heard a noise, and the next thing I know, I'm panicking. I'm up looking around. Mind you, I don't think anybody was trying to break into my house. I just heard a noise, and the next thing I know, I'm spiraling. I heard something, the panic started, and when it starts, it's hard to stop. So I'm in a mood today due to lack of sleep, so if I make no sense, well, that won't be new, will it? When do I ever make sense? Never! Cheers to that. Hey, hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jesse, and I suck at TBRs. So naturally, I'm gonna film a TBR today and share with you some books that I want to read before the end of winter. I realized that I didn't do a mood reader TBR for winter yet, and winter's not over. We've still got a chunk left of winter, which honestly, I wish I could just chuck it out the window and drive on into spring because I hate winter. I hate the cold, I hate the snow, unless it prevents me from having to leave my house. If I'm forced to stay inside with a book snuggled up on a couch, I'll take it. Otherwise, the snow gotta go. Oh, it just got so bright. And I also hate the early darkness. Like, I don't like the fact that it gets dark by 4 o'clock. Like, are you kidding? 4 o'clock? Why am I freaking yawning at 4 o'clock in the afternoon? Oh yeah, that's because it's dark outside and my mind is tricking itself into thinking that it's nighttime. It's not nighttime. It's 4 p.m. Talk about a mood crusher. I am a sunshine lover through and through, and when you take that away from me, I will be upset. Distressed. Mood crushed. Anyway, we're not here to talk about my winter issues. We're here to talk about the stack of books that I want to read before the end of winter. If you're new here, I do seasonal mood reader TBRs on this channel, which are TBRs that I will not necessarily stick to, but just kind of encompass the vibe that I want to go for when it comes to the books that I pick up within those seasons. I feel like the vibes that I'm kind of leaning to and the books that I'm reaching for throughout the winter season. One is fantasy. I can't explain why, but winter and fantasy just go so well together. You can't tell me otherwise. Like, my brain just feels like they are a perfect pairing. They're my OTP. I haven't heard that term in forever. What is this? 2012? No, it's 2024. Oh my god. The other vibe that I'm going for is comfort. I want books that feel like a warm, cozy blanket. I want books to wrap themselves around me and not give me a paper cut in the process. I picked out 5 books that represent what I'm going for. Again, there's a chance that I will not get to any of these books, and we're okay with that on this channel because this is a mood reader channel where we don't force ourselves to read specific books. We get on our little mood reader magic carpet and let it just take us for the ride. Anyway, the first book on my list is one that I picked up a long time ago and I completely forgot about, and as I was like looking through my book collection recently, I came across it and I was like, oh yes, it's time. It's time. Well, will it be time? We'll see if my mood allows for it to be time, but that book is The City of Dreaming Books. Even the title of this book brings me immense amount of comfort. Like, I would like to go there. The City of Dreaming Books, count me in. Where can I get a ticket? Take me to a city with dreaming books and leave me there, please. Just let me be with my books for eternity. Thank you. In this book, we follow... This main character's name is something else, but it is Optimus Yarn Spinner. Optimus Yarn Spinner. Optimus Yarn Spinner. That's his name. He has inherited an unpublished book by an unknown author, and he wants to track down this author, and to do so, he must travel to the City of Dreaming Books, which is this place called Bookholm. Again, I would like to go there. Where's my invite, Optimus? I'll keep checking the mail, but I think you forgot to send me an invite, and I'm a little offended. I'm very offended. Let me go there, please. And it feels like our main character just like falls under this book spell while he's at Bookholm, and to that I say, how does it feel to live my dream? I want to be cast under a book spell. I may already be cast under a book spell, but of course, Bookholm isn't all that it's caked up to be. There is a bit of darkness, and we follow our main character as he fights for his life. He fights to stay alive as he tries to track down this unknown author. I feel like in relearning that I own this book and that it sounds so amazing just makes me want to ditch all the books that I'm currently reading, which I'm reading quite a few right now, and just devote my time to this. Because this sounds all sorts of delightful. It sounds like that warm blanket that I want to be wrapped up in, and I do believe I smell a 5-star read. I don't want to get ahead of myself here, and maybe I should take my expectations and lower them a few notches because I don't want to be met with disappointment, but like, I'm ready for what this book will potentially deliver. And that, I hope, is greatness. The book itself also has illustrations throughout it, which to me is just always a plus. Like, you've got illustrations in there, thank you very much, I will take that and I will run with it. I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Next up, I've got a Brandon Sanderson brick. Though it's not his biggest brick, I've seen many Brandon Sanderson bricks that are way bigger than this one. I decided recently that I really want to get my little old butt back into Brandon Sanderson books, back to Sandersonville, and let my heart be crushed time and time again with every single page flip. I'll take a one-way ticket. Thank you very much. I've also decided, which I know this might be met with people being like, don't do that. Why are you doing that? Stop what you're doing, put the book down, and take several steps backwards, please. But I have decided that I want to read Brandon Sanderson's book books in publication order. Controversial. I know. But hey, if I'm gonna have a controversy, let it be this. Mind you, one of y'all could convince me to read it in a different order. There is reading order list out there, and I know that those are like more accessible, or the proper way to read Brandon Sanderson's books, or the proper way to get into the Cosmere universe. I am a stubborn human and I feel like it's hard to sway me, but I feel like some of you, if you make some valid points, I will listen, I will take in your feedback. But listen, I love reading an author's books in publication order because I love seeing the growth. I love seeing where they started and where they are currently with their work. Like, there's just something so fascinating about seeing the progression of an author's work. Mind you, sometimes authors go backwards, like they start out with the bangers and then they just release crap. But I feel like Brandon Sanderson is somebody that I'm going to see growth with each book. This book takes place in Elantris, which used to be a place filled with magic, but now it's started to rot. We shift gears to this place called K, where a princess has arrived to seal a political alliance with a wedding. But when her husband turns up dead, things take quite a bit of a turn. I have heard the fact that this is not Sanderson's best, but like I'm going in with the expectation that it's not going to be his best, so I feel like I'll still be able to enjoy it. But we'll see. I don't know. Another author with whom I want to get back to reading their books this year, in publication order, is none other than Haruki Murakami. I've only ever read Kafka on the Shore, despite the fact that I own several of his books. That one in particular was a unique one to start with when it comes to Murakami, because it was quite the ride, quite the trip. I was confused the whole way through. I've read it twice now, and it clicked a little bit more the second time, but the first time I was like, what am I reading? I'm taking the words in, but it is a trip. I've always wanted to carve out time to make my way through his books, and 2024 could be that year. I am feeling pretty lucky this year, but I don't know if that luck is going to transfer to my book life. This is the first story that he ever published. It's called Hear the Wind Sing, and it was published in a Japanese magazine. I actually did attempt to read it at one point, and I have like annotations from the last time that I read it. But similar to my experience with Kafka on the Shore, the first time that I was reading that book, it just like wasn't clicking fully. I was having a similar experience with this short story, so I'm interested to give it another go and to see if things kind of click better this second go around. Mind you, the first time that I read it, I didn't fully finish it. So I will be reaching the end with this one this time around, and I'm interested to see if reaching the end kind of helps me see the full picture, because sometimes without the ending, you don't get the full picture, okay? Sometimes you can, like, sort of get the full picture in the middle of the book, but I didn't get the full picture in the middle of the book with this one, so I'll be eager to reach the end. In this book, we are following a narrator who is retelling his summer that took place in 1970, dealing with feelings of grief, experiences with his first love. I believe the story takes place in a few different places, but I think mostly it takes place at a bar and a record store. I'm sure there will be some strangeness worked in this, because like it can't be a Murakami book without the strangeness, without the weirdness. Gotta have some unsettling happenings to make it a Murakami book. I say that as if I know Murakami's books really well. I've only read Kafka on the Shore, but I feel like that's what Murakami's known for, his strange happenings within his books. Next up here, I've got the Grandmaster of Cultivation. I, for sure, have had this on a recent TBR, and guess who never got around to reading it? That would be me! It's me! Listen, the desire to read this book is still strong within me. Like, I have read the first little chunk of it, and by first little chunk of it, I mean like 36 pages, but like, I loved those 36 pages. The characters we met, the setting, the storyline, I was loving it. I was eating it up. Clearly not enough to just like reach the end. But like, sometimes when I'm reading a book for a video project in particular, I put a lot of pressure on myself throughout the reading process. So it takes away a little bit of the enjoyment, but I'll be like reading the book and like thinking about what I'm going to be saying about the book, and like that can like sometimes mess me up and force me to put a book down, and I think that that's the situation with this book. So while I still have a video project in mind for this book and I want to complete that video project, I want to try to just like read the book and not think about the video project the whole time I'm reading it. Just enjoy the book for what it is and worry about that other stuff later. In this, we follow a guy who sacrifices himself in order for a Grandmaster of Cultivation to come through and take over his body and get revenge for him. I feel like the thing that surprised me the most about this book in the 36 pages that I read of it is that it's actually a rather humorous book. Like, it's a lot more lighthearted than I was expecting. Like, obviously there are some dark things happening, like, don't get it twisted. Boy literally sacrifices himself in order for somebody to come into his body and like get revenge for him. So like, some dark things are happening, but it is rather lighthearted, and there's some great characters, just lots of great banter, and I'm excited to get back into it. I will probably be rereading the first 36 pages because I want to remember all the little details as I'm reading the full story, but I'm excited to get back to it. And I'm excited to reread that little portion that I've already read. Lastly, I want to dabble into the manga The Girl from the Other Side. This edition is stunning. Thank you, Eli, for the gift. I've been wanting to read this manga for a long time, and my reason is less for the story and more for the artwork. Now, I am not a manga professional. I don't know all there is to know about manga, but like, this doesn't feel like it follows the traditional manga art style, and I love the style that it delivers. It almost is giving like very dark fairy tale-esque vibes with the art style, and that excites me to no end. The story follows two kingdoms. We've got the outside, where these beasts roam the land and will curse you with a touch, and then we've got the inside, these humans that live in peace. And this story is about two people from both sides who meet and connect and have this just like unexpected journey, this unexpected friendship together. It sounds delightful, and I'm looking forward to devouring it. That is my very loose end of winter TBR. Again, this is more so just like the vibe. Like the vibe that these books are delivering is what I want the books that I am reading here at the end of winter to kind of encompass. Again, let me know if you feel some kind of way about the way I'm going to be reading Brandon Sanderson's books, and try to convince me to read them in your correct order. I'll listen with an open heart and an open mind, I promise. But also let me know down below in the comments what books you plan to read the rest of the winter season. Do you have any that you're like highly anticipating that are coming out? Or do you have some books that you've been wanting to get to for a long time that you want to read before spring comes? Let me know down below in the comments. If you like this video, be sure to go and hit that like button. If you want to see more bookish content from me, be sure to go and hit subscribe or go and hit that bell icon, and you'll be notified every time I post new videos. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope your day is bright, that tomorrow is brighter. Keep reading what your heart desires, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye.